My name is Donald Chancemart Jr., and I am the Senior Class President for the Minnetonka High School Class of 1965. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you my classmate, Jane Brattain, who is one of the recipients this year for the Distinguished Alumni Award. Jane graduated from Minnetonka, completed her college schooling, and then began to work for Target Corporation, where she was for many, many years, then ultimately retiring as an executive from that company. But during that time, and particularly in 1991, Jane's life took a turn that she did not expect. She and her husband, Don, were interested in helping people that were suffering from breast cancer, and they decided that they would make a donation to Park Nicollet Clinics of a biopsy machine. Jane was actually one of the first people to try the machine after it was installed, and much to her surprise and anguish, it turned out that they discovered a lump that was cancerous. Jane didn't expect that. That wasn't the intent of donating the machine. But because the machine had been donated by she and her husband, and because of the early detection, the cancer was able to be eradicated. And Jane has lived a healthy life since that time. But because of that experience, Jane was inspired that she could do more. And so she and her husband worked together, and they developed the Jane Brattain Breast Cancer Center at Park Nicollet, a facility that has thrived, a facility that was designed to help women who are dealing with breast cancer, a facility that is set up to have early detection and then to be a caring facility and offer treatments. But that wasn't enough. Jane decided that she could even do more. So she came up with the concept of something that she called a Mammo-A-Go-Go, a converted bus that was outfitted with a mammogram machine and well-trained staff that could drive and travel throughout the Twin Cities. The Mammo-A-Go-Go has been to all different parts of the Twin Cities, has been to 13 different Park Nicollet clinics, and has been made available to the general public, particularly those that can't get to a clinic. And it was important to Jane that this mammogram on wheels be made available to women at risk in communities where they couldn't leave or couldn't come downtown to be seen at a Park Nicollet facility. And so she made sure that the Mammo-A-Go-Go went into those communities as well. The American Cancer Society tells us that in 2020, over 276,000 people were diagnosed with breast cancer. And out of that number, over 42,000 women will die because of that breast cancer. The work that Jane has done has been invaluable in providing help, early detection, treatment, diagnosis for women who suffer from this awful disease. So, Jane, on behalf of our class, I want to thank you. And on behalf of Minnetonka High School, you are a worthy recipient of this year's Distinguished Alumni Award. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Jane Brattain.
Hello, Skipper Peeps. That's what Sharon Haley calls us. Sharon Haley is the end-all and be-all of the class of 1965. She keeps us connected. She keeps us informed about what's going on with our classmates. And even when we're far apart, she keeps us close. So my first order of business is to say thank you to Sharon for all of her work throughout the years for the class of 65. I'm so honored to be nominated on behalf of the Jane Brattain Breast Center to receive the Distinguished Alumni Award. I know I join a very special group of people who have done such good work in this community and beyond. My husband Don and I had long been supporters of Park Nicollet. When we were approached in 1992 to fund a stereotactic biopsy machine, it checked all the boxes. It would be the first in the Midwest. Not even Mayo had one. It was faster, less painful, and less expensive than surgical biopsies. We said yes. Fast forward now 6 months, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was 44, my daughter was 4. My mother had died of cancer at the age of 57, so even though my cancer was diagnosed early, it was very scary. When I went in for my biopsy, Don inquired about the status of the machine that we had donated 6 months earlier and was told it has arrived, we're testing it on grapefruit, and your wife will be the first patient to be on the machine that you donated. Our commitment to Park Nicollet had always been strong, but this event drove us to the creation of a dedicated breast center. So working with my oncologist, radiologist, Don, and myself, we created an amazing place. It was Don's idea to name it after a survivor to symbolize hope, someone who had not died from the disease. I didn't like having my name on the center. It was a reminder of something that I just really wanted to forget about. But eventually I realized this was not about me, but rather about symbolizing hope. So along with hope, our mission became clear. We wanted to continue to offer the best state-of-the-art equipment available. We wanted staff that was totally dedicated just to breast health. And we wanted patients to have quick and easy access to appointments and results. No sleepless nights was always our goal. We wanted this to be a place where patients felt comfortable, where they felt pampered. Original art, fresh flowers, and warm, comfortable robes really help patients feel better. We wanted them to have a nurse available to them 24/7 to help them navigate the medical system, to help them with the multiple appointments they would have, to answer questions and help ease their fears. We're proud to offer this to every one of our cancer patients. I am proud also to say that the mission we set forth all those years ago is alive and well. We continue to deliver on all of our promises. And I'm so fortunate to be married to such a wonderful man. He's so generous, and I wish he were standing right here next to me. He pushes us. He pushes us to make sure that we continue on our goals, that we have the latest technology, and that patients should never have to wait for results. No sleepless nights will always be our goal. 29 years ago, when we first imagined a special place called the Jane Brattain Breast Center, we did not imagine that we would end up being a center where more than 1.5 million women would be cared for. And yet it is so. Community outreach is another important part of our work. We have 2 giant pink buses called Mammo A Go-Go. This is currently the only traveling mammography in the state. We provide mammograms and diagnostic services to underserved communities at no cost, so patients don't have to choose between buying shoes for their children or having a mammogram. In 2014, our first year for Mammo A Go-Go, we did 16 events and took care of 261 patients. Last year, we had 133 events and screened more than 2,000 patients and diagnosed 5 cancers and provided additional treatment for those patients. Most of these people were people of color, Hispanic, Black, and Native American, and 44 of the 133 events were bilingual. I am very proud to have my name associated with such a remarkable place, doing good work for our community and in our community. This has been truly a life-enriching experience. I should report that last October I was diagnosed for a second time with breast cancer. And once again, early detection saved my life. I'm so grateful to the wonderful team who helped me navigate my way through chemo, surgery, and radiation. And once again, I'm cancer free. Thank you so much for this honor.